The Tired Wife. Read and listen story by Mumtaz Masood.
Mr. Martin loved to invite people to his house for dinner because he was very proud of his wife's cooking. One day he met a man called Fattah. "Oh, Mr. Fattah," said Mr. Martin, "you must come to my house for dinner. My wife is an excellent cook and she can make the most delicious meals like you have never tasted. You must try her cooking." "Thank you," said Mr. Fattah. "That's very kind of you. Are you sure your wife won't mind?" "Oh no, Mr. Fattah," replied Mr. Martin. "My wife loves to cook. That's her hobby, you know." In fact, Mr. Martin's wife had enough of cooking for all of Mr. Martin's guests. Hardly a day passed by without him inviting somebody or other for dinner. However, she did not like to say no to him because he asked so nicely, although at times she was very tired. So instead, she made a plan to get rid of the guest. Mr. Fattah arrived and Mr. Martin asked her to look after him while he went out to buy the meat. As soon as Mr. Martin was out of the door, Mrs. Martin made Mr. Fattah a cup of tea, sat him down and said, "Oh, Mr. Fattah, I have to tell you, my husband has not gone out to buy meat, but he has gone to buy a patta, a stone for grinding meat and spices, and when he comes back, his plan is to hit you with it." Mr. Fattah heard Mr. Martin at the door. "No," he exclaimed, and left as quickly as possible from the back door. In came Mr. Martin. "Where is my friend?" he asked. "Your friend is really strange," replied Mrs. Martin. "Do you know, he kept asking me for my butter. I said to him, I will give it to you after I have minced the spices, but he got up and left." Mr. Martin did not want to hear anymore. He grabbed the butter and ran after Mr. Fattah saying, "Oh, Brother Fattah, take your butter." Oh, thought Mr. Fattah, his wife was telling the truth. Mr. Martin wants to hit me with the butter. And so he ran even faster. Until he escaped. "Phew," he said. Mrs. Martin felt very guilty about scaring poor Mr. Fattah away, so she told her husband why his friend had behaved the way he had. She also told him that she did not like calling his friends over for dinner all the time. "I didn't know you felt that way. I thought you enjoyed preparing food for my friends because you never complain and always look happy." Mr. Martin was very apologetic. From that day onwards, he always helped his wife with the cooking, especially if they were having guests over. He realized that sometimes his wife got tired and needed a rest too. Mrs. Martin explained to Mr. Fattah the reason why her husband had chased him with the butter. She hoped he would forgive her and come round for dinner. Mr. Fattah saw the funny side of things. He accepted Mrs. Martin's apology and her invitation. He agreed that Mrs. Martin was indeed an excellent cook